Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys BBPFF grade? All hype. Claims Giants Dex. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line has gone through a gauntlet of defensive fronts in the first 4 weeks of the season. For a young group, a start against the Cleveland Browns, New Orleans Saints, and Baltimore Ravens would prove no easy feat that youth showed in the box scores of each game. Defenses sacked Prescott 3 times in all of the Cowboys' first 3 games, good for 9 overall. Against the New York Giants, however, that number dipped to just 1. Ideally, the number would be 0, but it showed some growth for this offensive line that has withstood some battles early this season. Namely, rookie center Cooper Beebe has made a respectable transition to his new position. He faced Giants Pro Bowl defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence and held up well. According to PFF, Beebe allowed 0 pressures on 22 pass-blocking snaps. This season, he sits in first with only 2 sacks allowed. However, Lawrence took offense to that stat over the weekend, taking to X and sharing a GIF representing his feelings on how the matchup went. "Don't hype this, he know how the game went," he added. Whichever way Lawrence feels does not provide the best representation of the game either. Dallas certainly slowed down in the second half, but found moments where their offense moved with relative ease. The Cowboys' running game had its strongest showing of the season as Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott amassed 4 yards per carry. Individually, the numbers do not jump, but Beebe and the Cowboys' line negated the Giants' front for the majority of the contest. Lawrence will get another crack at Beebe and the Cowboys later this season. But for now, Beebe and this line turn their attention to a formidable Pittsburgh Steelers defense on tap for a Sunday night showdown in Week 5. Cowboys news: defensive line suffering from injury, secondary getting healthier. DeMarcus Lawrence has been one of the Cowboys' most reliable defenders for a long time, but Mike Zimmer's defense will be without him for some time. The Dallas Cowboys will place defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence on injured reserve in the coming days, a person with knowledge of the club's thinking told the Dallas Morning News. Discussions about potential roster moves are ongoing, but the current plan is to elevate defensive end Carl Lawson from practice squad for Sunday's game against Pittsburgh, while bringing in several other players for workouts. Lawrence suffered a Lisfranc injury to his right foot in the third quarter of the Cowboys' 20-15 victory over the Giants on Thursday. The injury will cost him anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks on the field, a person with knowledge of the injury told the Dallas Morning News. If Lawrence is placed on injured reserve, the earliest he could return is November 3 at Atlanta. It's the 3rd time in Lawrence's 11-year career he's missed time with a foot injury. Lawrence missed games in 2014 and 2021 with a broken foot. After the Giants game, Lawrence said the foot hurt like hell, but he was hopeful it wasn't serious. The Cowboys' pass rush has been lacking this season even with Micah Parsons, and now they must find an answer without their do-it-all star player. Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons has not missed a game due to injury at any level of football, but it's looking more likely that he'll miss his first on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers because of a high left ankle sprain. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy on Monday said the team is preparing to play Sunday's game without Parsons. "Man, it's just frustrating, for real," said Parsons, who missed 1 game in 2021 because of COVID. "Going from being ready and being there for the team to being out hurts me because I feel like I'm letting people down." Parsons acknowledged it might make sense to some to sit out the next 2 games and the bye week. "But when you're a real competitor, you only get 17 chances at this," Parsons said. "And missing one of these opportunities to perform at the highest level bothers me. I feel like I want to play on Sunday. If I can play, I will play, you know. To me, as long as I can run and move how I move, I want to play." There's no replacing playmakers like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, but the Cowboys will certainly try. Discussions are ongoing, but the plan for now is to elevate defensive end Carl Lawson from the practice squad for Sunday's game and bring in several players for a workout. Parsons is a focal point for every opponent. Accounting for where he lines up and how to neutralize him is where the offensive game plan starts. The Steelers won't have that concern. There's no one player the Cowboys can plug into his hybrid role. Zimmer said he will just have to figure out how he intends to use other players and come up with a plan that plays to their strengths. It will be a collective effort, not an individual one. That's it, McCarthy said. It's not like you take one player and put him in and give him the exact same responsibility in reps that Micah had or what D-Law had. It's going to be a combination of things. You let the game plan bring that to light. The injuries open the door for rookie Marshawn Kneeland and veteran Chauncey Golston to move into the starting lineup. Cowboys advised to sign three-time Pro Bowl pass rusher amid rash of injuries. Over the past few seasons, the Dallas Cowboys defense has gotten its fill by devouring opposing quarterbacks, creating heavy pressure and big sack numbers, though not so much in 2024. Dallas is tied for 24th in the NFL with just 8 sacks as a team through 4 games, and could fall further in the rankings depending on what the Miami Dolphins and Tennessee Titans are able to accomplish on Monday Night Football. Half of the Cowboys' sacks belong to DeMarcus Lawrence, 3, and Micah Parsons, 1, both of whom are now injured following a Thursday Night Football matchup against the New York Giants. Given the uncertain health status of their 2 best pass rushers and a dip in pressure off of the edge through the first quarter of the season, the NFL scouting department at Bleacher Report suggested that the Cowboys pursue free agent Frank Clark as a stopgap solution. Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence went down with injuries on Thursday, and both could miss a significant amount of time. While the Cowboys have Carl Lawson to turn to, it couldn't hurt to add one more veteran into the mix, BR wrote on Monday, September 30th. Clark was released by 2 teams last season, but he did log 5 sacks in 2022 with the Kansas City Chiefs, so it might be worth it for the Cowboys to at least bring him in for a workout and see if he has anything left in the tank. Clark is a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2019-21, and has produced 58.5 total sacks across his 9-year NFL career. He is only 31 years old and played just 8 games last year, which should translate into fresh legs should he return to action this fall. Clark is 3rd all-time in playoff sacks, having recorded 13.5 during his NFL tenure. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Frank Clark? Leave your opinion in the comments.